Good day and welcome back to a much more updated vlog, one where we're actually going to film the trip. So Lockie and I are heading up to the northeast of Tasmania. We're going to head up towards like Flinders Island area. Our goal is, I don't know, ton and a half, I don't know. We've got $2,500 worth food on. We've got about 2 and a bit ton of bait, I think. We've got 52 pots with next to no steel pots because we think these stickies catch a lot better up the north, well, anywhere on the east coast or anywhere you catch big fish. Having a big pot and a stick pot seems to work better. That's our opinion. We've got brand new bait savers, brand new skewers, heaps of gear down in the wing there, lots of spares of odds and ends. We don't carry any spare pots. We've got spare ropes that we've made up. It's just been a busy week leading up to this, but Lockie's also got on some brand new Aussie Lobster Hunter t-shirts. They are coming very soon. I'm hoping by the time this vlog comes out, the website is now up, it's now running. If that is the case, then go grab one. I'll show you some of the other ones. I'm not wearing one. I'll show you some of the other ones we've got. It's a black and white t-shirt, but this is it. We're aboard the Chieftain, and yeah, everything's ready to go. We've still got jumpers and things everywhere that we need to sort out. I've made my bed. Down here we've got a few things to sort out. In the galley, I'm going to clean the toilet and just make things nice, homely, so we're good to go. But right now we're heading towards Den's Point, which is just here. We're going to go around this point and we're going to go to that's a lie, sorry, I'm getting myself confused already, because normally we go that way or we go that way to the south coast and west coast. This time we're going to go straight towards the lighthouse, the Iron Pot, and we're going to go the inside of Betsy Island, and then we're going to go the inside of the next point, and we're going to head up through the Dunalley Canal. So in one of the last videos we put out, we did the East Coast trip, and it was the whole trip in one video. Well, this is now going to be, we'll do the same thing as we had been doing previously. Lots of videos for one trip, and it just makes it, more content, more stuff for people to watch. Other than that, I think we might catch back up when we get to the canal. That'll be when we're about to go through it. We'll film that, and then it might be a bit of a time lapse heading out of the canal. And we're going to anchor somewhere tonight, get up early in the morning, and then steam all the way up the coast. That's the plan anyway. So anything to say, Lockie? You excited?
I'm excited.
What's it mean when you fish up here?
What does it mean?
Yeah, what's it mean? What are we going to see?
Big lobs.
Big lobsters. That's what we want to hit. That's what we want. The reason we're going up here is the beach price, which is the price we receive from the processors when we land the fish at the wharf, is $85-ish to $90 for lobsters over 2 kilos. And then when you come down to the next bit, 1.5 kilos, I think they're about $70, $75. But when you go under 1.5 kilo, it drops down to like $55. So financially, it's not viable for us to go, down the south coast, around the west coast at this current stage. We may as well go up the northeast and give it a crack, see how we go. Don't know. I'm pretty excited, pretty keen to do it, and yeah. First obstacle I forgot to talk about was we're taking a little shortcut. A lot of people don't either know where it is or they don't like to take it for good reason. It is and can be dangerous. and it also is weather dependent. But this here is the Iron Pot. It's a lighthouse, and there's a reef just on the inside of it. There's a tiny little gap, and then there's a reef on the other side of it. So basically, we just want to go straight through the middle. You can go around it, or you can, yeah, but this saves you maybe 10 minutes sort of thing by the time you know, come this way. It's a nice straight shortcut, but it's very weather dependent. If it's breaking and that sort of thing, you don't want to be going through here. But it is shallow. I haven't actually been through here on this boat, so this will be the first on this one. Yeah, there's rocks on either side that, yeah, if you hit them, you'll tear a hole in your boat. But we'll get through this little gap, take some photos of the Iron Pot, and keep going to Denali. That is the Iron Pot. There used to be a house on there. Now it lives on a hill over there at Tinderbox. It's only a very little rock, a very little lighthouse. They reckon seaweed used to get washed up on the balcony. Yeah, it's true story. All right, another rock, a mile further than the Iron Pot. The Iron Pot's just behind us there. Betsy Island is here. Then you got this little reef here called Blackjack Reef. A boat has ran aground there. I'll put a photo of that in. And yeah, it was a giant catamaran. It was on its like test trial run, and I don't know what happened, but you can find the newspaper articles about it. I think there's a description of what occurred, which made it run aground. Yeah, so this little reef here, yeah, it's not somewhere you want to end up, but at least it's close to a really nice beach. I'll make sure we're not going to hit anything. We are, so we're just passing Blackjack Rocks just here. We look like we're lined up pretty well. Lockie's in charge now, but yeah, there's basically a beach that runs from over there all the way across. Some people over there walking, and Mount Wellington or Kunyai I think it is in the background. Yeah, beautiful spot. Beautiful spot. All right, we're just getting up to Denison Canal now. So you basically come around here, and there's a bunch of what you call lead markers, which lead you into the canal itself. Once we get into the markers, which start about here, the Denison Canal man will be able to see us, and he will start opening the bridge. We sort of just slowly work our way up until we get to about here, wait here, and then we go through when it's clear. This is my second time through here. The last time I was here, there was a boat in front of me and I just followed him, which was good, but this time I'm the only one. Like, you know, people go through here flat out all the time, but you've still got the dangers of one little stuff up, you're running into a bridge, you're running your boat aground. The last thing you want is to end up like that big ship in Egypt that, you know, turned and blocked off the canal. But anyway, yeah, we're just getting ready. Nothing really to do. Lockie's just sitting on his phone. He'll go out in a minute and film this. You do a courtesy call to the bridge. You book 2 hours before if you can, so they know that you're coming. They can organise boats in groups if need be. You just give them a courtesy call on channel 14, and then when we get up to the lead markers, he'll call us again to say, yep, you know, I can see you, we're good to go through, sort of thing. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, so it's only shallow through here. I think the shallowest point the sounder stops working, so it's probably no more than, I don't know, me 6 foot under the boat. So you've got the water, the depth of the boat, and then we take the reading on the sounder from the bottom of the boat down. So it's probably no more than 6 foot deep in a lot of areas through here, which is just enough for us to float through. Right, so I don't know if you can see them. They're the lead markers. We're coming in. We've got to stay in between the green and the red. Now, most of you probably think, oh, some of you might think, oh, this is backwards. It's because that way is to port, technically, because Hobart's that way. This way is going away from port, hence why they are backwards at the moment, and they will be the whole way until we get through Marion Bay, because there's a lot of markers and there's a lot of channels we've got to follow. But we're nearly there. That's actually really cold, so I'm going to go back inside and wait. Got the green light. Good to go then. Got the green light. Little green light over there. Just traffic lights pretty much. southerly coming, which will cause us won't really cause us any problems, but it will just be a little bit more sloppy tomorrow. See if I can get it on my phone real quick. So as you can see, we're going to be going, let me just click on where, right there, and we're going to be going up the coast, the whole way up the coast, and I think the weather progressively worsens throughout the day and becomes more southerly. So it's good for us going north, but then it's just a matter of finding somewhere tomorrow night to shoot the pots, lay anchor, all that sort of thing. But we'll work that out when we get to there. Yeah, other than that, keen to have a good night's sleep tonight. That's my a pie, a salad, and a good night's sleep. That's what I'm looking forward to. Lockie wants the tomahawks for dinner, but he can have them when he's done one shot, and then he can have tomahawks. But anyway, we'll see you for the exit up this way. That's it, there's the drop off. We're coming out the end. So there's only one little red marker back there behind us, and that's to stay on our starboard side, and when you come back it stays on your port side. So anyway, we're going to steam up between, that's Mariah Island just there, and then you've got Pebbly Point or something I think it's called over here, and we're just going to go straight in the middle and steam all the way up to a place called Chieftain Island. We'll see what we're doing time wise, and we may keep going a bit further until we get to a place called Wineglass, but for now we'll yeah, just cruise, do some cleaning, do some things. I've got to go to the engine room, pump the tank back up, so we've got some sit a bit lower in the water, so we've got a bit more stability. Not that we need it with this perfect weather, but yeah, that's about it really. Not a lot else to do tonight. Yeah, beautiful evening. Not so beautiful deckhand. She's night time now. We've got, so it's night time, we've got the autopilot going, radio's on 16, we've got, oh, it says 14 but it's on watch on 16. We've got the 3D, we've got the charts, bit of YouTube going, the sounder, we're going to have a nice bit of cray bottom here. We're on our way to Chieftain Island. As you can tell, it's dark out, bit of wind coming sort of from the west. It did swing around today and it will come from the south very soon. Lockie's downstairs having some dinner. We'll show you what we're having for tea. So first night, it's just a quick easy dinner. We got a salad with some corn, cabbage, cheese, carrot, lettuce, different odds and ends of sauce, cheese again, I don't know, I think I said it, but and then we got a cottage pie or whatever it is, something nice and simple. Eat this, Lockie's already into it, look at him, yum, yum, yum. And he's just going to watch a bit of YouTube. So that's about all we do on the first night. We've got another 3-ish hours of steaming, and then we'll be at the first anchorage, get a good sleep up in the morning. So anyway, I'm going to go eat this. Alright, we're just coming into Wineglass now. We're here, we're just going to come around the corner, anchor down here. The wind's meant to be blowing up like this, so I won't go over to this anchorage. We'll go here tonight and get up early in the morning. I haven't worked out a time yet. It's all going to depend on tide. It's about 12 hours to get to where we want to if we make it on time. Yeah, anyway, we're going to drop anchor shortly, so I'll probably sign off for the night. Yeah, if anyone wanted to know what it looks like at night time, this is it. This is your setup. Obviously we've got lights on, but if you go turning your side lights off, I don't know if you can see much there. I can't really see through the lens, but you know, it gets pretty dark when you have no lights on. But you know, that's why we use radar. Radar is what tells us what's going on. So important that you know how to use that within an extent and learn over time. But yeah, these systems all run off of satellite, so these can be off. You know, if this is 20-30 meters off, then that means we're, you know, either over here or over here. So it's important that you always refer back to your radar. So anyway, see you guys in the morning, hopefully for a I don't know, not too early of a morning, but got a feeling when I lay down in bed tonight and I start working out what the go is, it might be an early morning, but we'll see you in the morning. Alright, it is morning time. It is very, very cold. I'm taking you up the back where it's very dark just to see whether you guys might be able to see anything back here. Bit of Bryce will notice whether you will or won't, but beautiful spot. The wind is, there's not a cloud in the sky, but behind us is just a thick line of shitty looking weather, which is what we'll go and join in a minute. But it's a beautiful, very cold morning. The moon's out. You can see, I can see all the silhouette of the mountains behind us, and yes, it's quite beautiful. Lockie's up there ready to do the what's name, so let's go do the anchor and wish sweet. Flip that one and away we go. Sun's coming up. We're now off of, where are we? A place called Isaac Point. It's just, where's Bicheno? Bicheno is just here. If you know where Bicheno is, we're only just here. So coming past, we'll keep going. Lockie's gone to bed. He went to bed hours ago. He's just wants that little bit extra sleep. I've just been sitting up watching YouTube, playing a game, not doing too much really. Wind's picked up a little bit. There's a few white caps about. I don't know if you can see much, but yeah, it's coming southwest at the moment. It hasn't swung around to directly southerly. We're doing 7.5 knots, and we've also put our stabilizer arm in. I'll explain that throughout the next bunch of videos of this vlog, but yeah, it's just a big bit of steel that goes off the side of the boat. Basically, that big thing there's a chunk of steel out in the water on an angle. It's like a big wing, and it creates stabilization from basically as the boat moves up and down, it creates resistance on the plate, if that makes sense. So anyway, keep on cruising. It is very cold, I'll give it that. It is freezing cold, but all I want to do is climb in that nice looking bed and just sleep a bit. But anyway, we'll keep on steaming. All right, update. I've had a nap and I've woken up to a little bit worse conditions. We're doing, what are we doing? 8 knots. Yeah, much more windy out here. It's only just starting to build. I think we've still got a fair bit more to come. The clouds aren't over us yet. There's a lot of clouds behind us that have still got to come this way. We're nearly off of St. Helens Point, just over here. So yeah, we're getting there bit by bit. I've had a nap. Lockie had a nap this morning. Both had a bit of food. Yeah, this is the furthest up I've been in recent years, like that I can remember. The last time I'd worked, or even just been higher up than where we are right now, was when I helped Dad when I was a little kid bring the boat back. I've never been up here. I've never worked up here. Yeah, that's about it. So that's yeah. Looking forward to seeing what it's like, but see the stabilizer doing its thing down there. notes about tide and about what happens up here, do's and don'ts, places to look out for. He basically just covered from what we call Eddystone Rock Point all the way up to roughly where I'll end up tonight. That way I've got an idea of where to go, how to get through there. I'll sort of show you what I mean. So there's a lot of stuff up here I think you can hit. Well, there's reefs, there's rocks, there's sandbars, there's everything you don't really want to, you know, be near as a fisherman. However, that's also where the fish are. So basically, as we come up to Eddystone, you've got rocks, all these red rocks and all these little dots of rocks and shallows and things you can hit. All this is what you can hit. There's reefs out here, reefs over here, and you got more things everywhere, and then as you come up here there's more stuff. So basically, with old Dad's beautiful information, I can work out what we're doing, how we're sort of, where we're going to shoot, and see what happens. Now, a lot like the Fries, which is where we normally work, there's a lot of tide, but a lot more tide up here, like 3 to 5 knots or something. You know, you're talking like 10km/h tides. The tide change is very different, the way it all works. I think it's like, if you start going like a mile offshore, you can, or a mile and a half, it's like an hour and a half different with timing of the tide and things. We've got a few waves building up at the moment. Everything's sort of getting a little bit bigger, but should be dying off as we get around the corner. It's just been building all morning, as you expect with the big winds that are following. We're sort of just staying in front of it a bit, which is nice, but a good pushing 3 meters here and there. I think the tide at the moment's actually running into it. It's hard to tell because we're doing 8 knots, 8 and a bit sometimes. So we've got the wing in, our stabilizer, which normally slows us down. But yeah, anyway, we'll work that out. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we've got a couple of hours to go. Lockie's about to go on deck and get the pots ready. But in a couple of hours, the tide should go slack, which is perfect for when you shoot the gear. Because as you can imagine, when you throw a pot in the water, it doesn't always necessarily land where you think it is. It'll get taken away in the tide. That's why we've put on our 40kg pots, our heavier pots, and we'll just, you know, work out how far they move. And a big thing for tide for me, because I've worked in a bit of it, not much of it, but a bit of it, is when you shoot your first couple of pots, 3 or 4 pots, 5, whatever, go back and look at your first pot and see where it is, so you can be like, right, this has moved a lot further than I thought, therefore, you know, I need to take a bit longer when I see the mark, and then I want to shoot it, then wait a bit longer, if that makes sense. So lots of things to consider. I'm sort of scratching my head a bit, but we'll get up here, get these pots soaking, and then tomorrow see what we get, and we'll start like basically honing in on what works, what doesn't. All right, we are about, what are we, 500, 600 meters away from Eddystone Point. So that's a lie, we're a kilometre away from Eddystone Point, we're half a mile, I think, by the looks of that. We are, I don't know if you want to call it a shortcut, there's 3 or 4 different ways you can go here by the looks of it. The old man on the phone said, oh yeah, go through this section, so we're going to have a look there. And then once we get around this corner, I'm hoping that all this, it's nearly baited. Lockie, where is he? He's over there. Basically, yeah, we're gonna take a bit more of a wider angle here, and then we'll cut in through here, and then we'll go around another place called George's Rocks. I think that's the plan at the moment, but for now we'll start turning with this business because it's coming in quite, yeah, like, I mean, you know, if you look at the compass, you'd call that near, you know, easterly really. So I don't know whether it's just funneling around or something. I don't know the area, so it's not something I can learn or know until we fished a little bit more of it, I think. But anyway, we'll update you guys in a minute. Alright, going on the inside, there's a set of rocks just here that it's all breaking through there. I'm using the 3D mapping to look at what's ahead. So on this one I can follow boat, and then I look forward, so I can see this path here is probably where I want to go. There's another rock here, which is this rock here. So I'm using 3 different mapping systems. The other screen at the top, same thing. Just making sure that all 3 are sort of saying, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to be doing. Because right now we're doing 8 knots, but you know, things creep up on you pretty quick. So we just want to make sure we're doing the right thing. Oh, we're doing 9.5 knots now, so yeah, things creep up. Now this is a big fat slow boat, so yeah, something else to keep an eye on. You see the bottom comes up here a fair bit, just like it does on the mapping. Comes up to, looks like 8 fathom off to our port side just here. So you, when it shallows up, you've got to be careful of, you know, wave breaking. That's just a general rule of thumb. Whether they do here or not, I don't know. It might have to be a lot bigger. I don't know these things yet. But yeah, it's just seeing where the boat is. So you can see the rocks here, and there's another rock here. So we'll just go on the inside of this, and then we'll go around the next set, which I can see a bunch of rocks out here. I think that's called George's Rocks. But yeah, the lighthouse is right there, which is pretty cool. Can't remember whether I'd been there or not, whether I'd walked out there or anything. It's sort of ringing a bell, but anyway, I'll keep watching all this and pay attention. Alright, so we've just got through this gap, and now we're going to head towards the outside of George's Rocks, I think. We'll go around that and we'll start shooting the gear just past that. Yeah, like I said, lighthouse is over here. Lockie's doing his gear. Apparently 200 metres over here, there's a rock, a very, very shallow rock that's just disappeared. But back down there, and you wouldn't even know, like you'd have no idea that was there. So I remember flicking through one of Dad's old shipwreck books years and years ago, and the amount of shipwrecks up through this area, crazy. Like, I think a lot of boats used to just go from Hobart, stay out wide, and just go the whole way up to Sydney, you know, that, and yeah, so yeah, I'll have to try and find some of those stories. If I can find that book, I might even like read one of the stories or show you the page, and you can pause it, because I think hundreds of people have died up through this area or something, you know, many years ago and that sort of thing. But anyway, Lockie's nearly done. Our llama, we've also got a llama, if you're wondering about the llama on the mast. Will be on the TV show Aussie Lobstermen, Channel 9, end of the year, end of 2024. So that'll answer that question, if you're wondering why there's a fluffy toy on the mast. Alright, we're just passing George Rocks, and there it is out there. One thing I will note, when you come to a new area, or basically when I come to a new area, this is what I do. I look at the rock formations on the shore, on the land, anywhere around us, or any rocks that are sticking out of the water, and that gives you a good idea of what potentially the rocks look like underwater. So for instance, they're just sort of like literally a rock, and when I look over there at the rock on land, it literally looks like that. It's just a rock, like flat, then rock. So that tells me, and even over here, well, I don't know what that is, that's a reef of some sort. It's the same thing by the looks of it. It's just like, yeah, literally what you draw as a rock. It's just these big up and downs, which gives me a good idea of what I should probably shoot, you know, put the pots on and that sort of thing. So that's something I do. Others don't, might not think it works, I don't know, but that's just what I look at and see, because behind these rocks, these reefs and little islands and that, it's just dead flat land, beaches and that. So I'm going to presume that the formations we're shooting are going to be a lot the same as what's sticking out of the water. Yeah, but we're nearly there. We've got 2.5, 3 more mile or something, and we'll start shooting the pots in. Alright, we're just getting to the spot now, which doesn't look like much. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's only about 15 fathom. We're basically just going to shoot the first few pots off, and then we're going to work out what the tide's doing. It should be coming at us right now. If that's the case, I need to work out my allowances for letting the pots go and where they're going to land. Once I work my allowances out, yeah, we'll get into it. But I'll film a few, and then I won't film much because I need to focus. This is my first shot up here. It's something, you know, this is how I make my living. This is how I pay for Dad's bills and expenses. So I need to focus, and having a camera is not really focusing. So we'll shoot a few in a minute, and then we'll film some, and then we'll shoot a few. Alright, last pot's gone in. I didn't film any of it because it ended up becoming very stressful. Anyway, yeah, beautiful bloody evening, like crazy beautiful. Got to dim some of these screens, but yeah, look, tomorrow morning I would be happy. I'd be happy to see 25. I'd like to see 40, but I'd be happy to see 25. There's a lot of boats up here. I think we've counted 10 so far, and that was without even trying, basically. But we're going to whiz in here at Anchorage, and I'll have a chat then. I'll just focus on where I'm going and just go from there. Alright, we're on anchor. A little bit of a kerfuffle. I'll just show you the... I need this mouse. I'll just show you... Oh, well, I don't really need it. Yeah, a bit of a shitty anchorage. I don't even need the 3. I've got the 3D off. Anyway, I'll show you in the morning. We're only in a couple of fathom. It was like 1.5 fathom here, and I was like, oh, I'd rather not anchor there, so we moved down a bit further, closer to the anchor mark, which just makes sense. But looking at it, it looked worse down here. But anyway, that's all been sorted out. And tonight, dinner wise, we are having some little, what are they, Loggy?
Big ribeyes, mate.
Big little ribeyes.
Little ribeyes.
Little ribeyes. So some chips, a salad. Lockie's got little hands.
Actually, really big hands.
So cook some of them up and get an early night, get some sleep, and get up really early in the morning. I've just messaged some of the other fishermen up here asking what time do you get up, because each area is sort of different, and I'm waiting to hear back. So I'm either going to be excited or disappointed with the time, but we want to get up the same time as everyone else, because up here you're battling a lot of tide, and you want to be pulling the gear as soon as you can and moving or shooting it out wider on slack tide rather than trying to shoot into the tide and that sort of thing. Bit more southerly tomorrow, but yeah, anyway, I'll show you dinner when it's ready, and then we'll go straight to bed, I reckon. Lockie just wants to sit down and play some games.
My head hurts.
And his head hurts, he reckons. Dinner's up, Loggie. There you go. Just gravy for you, mate. Just this little...
Jesus Christ.
Just a little plate there, mate.
Wow. Wow.
Do you want to use your hands, your toes, or do you want some cutlery?
Let's go caveman style.
Just caveman style? Yeah, nice. Nice. Well, that's dinner done. This will probably be the end of this vlog. I'll quickly add in some clips for tomorrow morning, and then yeah, we'll basically, from now on, it'll be either morning and afternoon as one video, or depends how big the morning is or how big the afternoon is, it'll be separate videos or whatever. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. It should be a shortish video of just traveling and getting to where we need to be. Otherwise, if not, it's going to be another video. So anyway, thank you. We will see you very soon.
That's a big steak, man.